You say you just don't see it. He says it's perfect sense. You just can't get agreement in this present tense. We all talk a different language, talking in defense. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it clear. Oh, say it clear. You can listen as well as you hear. It's too late. It's too late when we die. Oh, when we die. To admit we don't see eye to eye. So we open up a quarrel between the present and the past. We only sacrifice the future. It's the bitterness that lasts. So don't yield to the fortunes you sometimes see as fate. It may have a new perspective on a different day. And if you don't give up and don't give in, you may just be okay. Say it, say it, say it loud. Say it clear. Oh, say it clear. You can listen as well as you hear. Because it's too late. It's too late when we die. Oh, when we die. To admit we don't see eye to eye. I wasn't there that morning when my father passed away. I didn't get to tell him all the things I had to say. Think I caught his spirit later that same year. I'm sure I heard his echo in my baby's newborn tears. I just wish I could have told him in the living years. So say it loud. Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. Oh, beautiful release. Memories seep from my veins. It may be empty, or weightless, and maybe I'll find some peace tonight. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the make up for all that you lack. It don't make no difference. Escape one last time. It's easier to believe in this sweet madness, all this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from sky as we walk in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of barley? We'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we lie in fields of gold. See the west wind move like a lover's soul upon the fields of barley. Feel her body rise when you kiss her mouth among the fields of gold. I never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I've broken. But I swear in the days still left, we walk in fields of gold. We walk in fields of gold. Many years have passed since those summer days among the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down among the fields of gold. You'll remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold. Night swimming deserves a quiet night. The photograph on the dashboard, taken years ago, turned around backwards so the windshield shows every street light, reveals a picture in reverse. Still it's so much clearer. I forgot my shirt at the water's edge. The moon is low tonight. Night swimming deserves a quiet night. I'm not sure all these people understand. It's not like years ago. Fear of getting caught, the recklessness of water. They cannot see me naked pass by every day. Night swimming, remembering that night. September's coming soon, pining for the moon. What if there were two side by side in orbit around the fairest sun? The right type of ever drum, not to strive night swimming. You, I thought I knew you. You, I cannot judge. You, I thought you knew me. This one laughing quietly underneath my breath. Night swimming. Photograph reflects every street light, a reminder. Night swimming deserves a quiet night. Deserves a quiet night.
If I should stay, I would only be in your way, so I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. And I will always love you. Will always love you. You, my darling. Bittersweet memories, that is all I'm taking with me. So goodbye, please don't cry. We both know I'm not what you need. And I will always love you. I will always love life treats you kind, and I hope you have all you dreamed of, and I wish you joy and happiness. But above all this, I wish you love. And I will always love you. I will always love
In this proud land we grew up strong. We were wanted all along. I was taught to fight, taught to win. I never thought I could fail. No fight left, or so it seems. I am a man whose dreams have all deserted. I've changed my face, I've changed my name, but no one wants you when you lose. Don't give up, 'cause you have friends. Don't give up, you're not beaten yet. Don't give up, I know you can make it good. Though I saw it all around, never thought that I could be a faintant. Thought that we'd be last to go. It is so strange the way things turn. Drove the night toward my home, the place that I was born, on the lakeside. As daylight broke, I saw the earth. The trees had burned down to the ground. Don't give up, you still have us. Don't give up, we don't need much of anything. Don't give up, 'cause somewhere there's a place where we belong. Rest your head, you worry too much. It's gonna be alright. When times get rough, you can fall back on us. Don't give up, please don't give up. Got to walk out of here.
You are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. Oh, the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. The wind beneath my wings. Good night, my angel, time to close your eyes and save these questions for another day. I think I know what you've been asking me. I think you know what I've been trying to say. I promised I would never leave you, and you should. I never will be far away. Good night, my angel, now it's time to sleep. And still so many things I want to say. Remember all the songs you sang for me when we went sailing on an emerald bay. And like a boat out on the ocean, I'm rocking you to sleep. The water's dark and deep inside this ancient heart. You'll always be a part of Good night, my angel, now it's time to dream. And dream how wonderful your life will be. Someday your child may cry, and if you sing this lullaby, then in your heart there will always be a part of me. Someday we'll all be gone, but lullabies go on and on. They never die, that's how you and I will be.
Clary, these are strong. You must have bloody good eyes to see through these. Okay. My name is Dave. I'm Craig's father. I'm the Master of Ceremonies. I don't know why they chose me because I don't know anything that's going on here. But anyway. Right. Yes. Can you hear me at the back there? Yes. Oh, well, I'm sorry about that, but never mind. The first thing, okay, because I'm in charge here, I thought the first thing we'll do is a bit of karaoke. So I want to do Elvis. Can you put that? Oh, never mind. Okay. They say that when you're speaking to a lot of people and you're nervous, Dale Carnegie says you've got to imagine everybody's naked. Well, I've looked around and you don't inspire me at all. Okay, gee, but look at this. This is my shorthand. I can write shorthand. I just can't read it back. Okay, where are we now? Yes. Oh, yes. Right. Welcome, everybody. You must understand, please understand this is a celebration. Because Craig was a party boy, doesn't want people being terribly depressed. And there's going to be elements of sadness, of course there is. But it's a celebration. So we're all going to celebrate his life, which was phenomenal. I've got to tell you that. Claire, I've got to have other glasses in my jacket pocket. These are no good. Has anybody got sort of normal glasses? Yes, thanks, Marky. Yeah, these are the ones, 120 Rand ones. There you go. Okay. Oh, yes, I've got it. And obviously, thank you for coming. Honestly, all of you come. People have come from the UK. They have come from Zim, all over the country. And my brother Alan, who's Alan John, and they call him AJ because none of his friends could spell Alan. He lives in a hotel, old people's hotel thing. What do they call it? Retirement hotel. Now, Alan, I said to him, Ellie, you must come to Craig's Wake. All right. He said, when is it? And I said, it's on Thursday. He said, oh, I don't know. I said, why not? He says, of course, they have in Oxdale here for lunch. So, you know, he's a Bulawayo boy. What can you say? So anyway, that's not true. That's not true at all. Alan loved Craig, and Craig loved Alan. They did. But Alan can't be here. He just can't be. So it's sad, but he's with us in spirit. Long classes. Don't get old, guys. Okay. Yes. Right, I'm going to tell you how it works. There's drink stations around everybody. Waiters will be coming through with snacks. All right. Let me see, where are we going here? Okay. Oh, there's a chapel over there. Okay, people that need to visit the chapel, and the toilets are through there. And the bar closes at 6. Then becomes a cash bar. So I don't want to stampede at 6:15 to the drink stations, okay? Because I know Craig's friends. I mean, they're horrific. Okay. Okay. How am I doing? Okay. Now and again I go like this to see if Craig checks somebody or not. Okay. We got, just to run through it, there are going to be. Okay. There are going to be 6 speakers. Okay. Coming up. They're all going to have a few words to say. I'm going last, so there's something to look forward to. Okay. But these people, when you look around here, this doesn't happen by accident. This is phenomenally well put together. And it's people that I really need to thank. It's people that have come together and they've been so generous with their time and their talents. And the first person is, Shani, I've got to tell you, love, that you've, you know, in all your pain, you've put this thing together. Okay. So, there's Jane for the flowers. Where are you, Jane? Yes. You must do my wake. Okay. There's only going to be 6 people at my wake, so it's going to be easy. Our gardener said he'd come, but he went overtime. So, okay, so then there is Melinda Woodlake, who did the slideshows. There is, I don't know how you say this, Bianca, how do you say, Liversley? No, Liversley. She did the pinboard, thank you. Leon, is Leon here? Well, I'm going to cross him out then. Okay. Kirst Badenhorst for the surface sheets. Yes, I think that's about all. Who did somebody else did the flowers with you? Yeah, yes. Well, I wrote this last night and I was shaky a bit. So, anyway, okay, so that's the introduction. And how am I doing? All right, yeah, okay. I can have a round of applause here or some bloody thing, yeah? This is my moment in the sun. I love a captive audience, I tell you. Okay, so now, what are we going to do here now? Okay, right. We're going to have speakers, and the first speaker is going to be... Yes, you, Mark. Okay, don't take too much time because I want to speak as well, all right? Okay.
Thanks so much.
Okay, wait.
Can I stand away from? Thank you so much. It's a real privilege to be here today, and just to Shan and Garrett Smith family. I just see the life that comes from the dad. You know, the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree. And I just think of Craig. I didn't get to meet Craig, but I see the many people that have come out here today. And when I chatted to Shan, he was a larger-than-life character and had great influence. I think looking at this picture here I'd call him a young man still, full of life, and wherever he went, he would influence people. And I'm just thinking of the family today and loved ones. There's an incredible promise from God, and God says He is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in trouble. And often when a pastor gets up, they wonder how long he's going to take. And I don't want to keep you long today, but I wanted just to encourage you because although this is a tragic moment where we look at a young man whose life was taken, there is hope in this story. And more importantly, I'm talking to the living today. As I look across the room today, I see eyes that are up. I see smiles, I see tears, I see laugh. I see, in fact, humanity and friends that would witness and be a friend of this man, but also, more importantly, that when these moments come, we often ask the question, what does it look like for me? What does it look like for me as to live this life to the full, to have an influence like Craig did? And I just thought of three things while driving down. I live in a place called Hilton, drove down. I thought of three things just to share quickly. Number one, faith. I think faith is a funny thing because when you think of faith, we put it aside as religious people and we think, oh, well, faith is one day when I get to heaven. But I know we all have faith. We're all connected by faith. You've got faith this morning because you're sitting on a chair. You've trusted the chair to hold you up. You've got faith in your vehicle to get you here. You've got faith in your partner, your friend, your business, wherever you work. You've got faith. But I think God invited us into a greater faith. It's not that we don't have faith. It's where we choose to put our faith. And right at the essence of God is, I'm not sure Craig knew God, but God knew him and loved him. And I think right at the essence of Christianity and God, a God that loves him and knew Craig, is this thought that actually right at the essence of God's heart for us is good news. It's a good news. It's a proclamation, not of what we have to do to get to God, but what's already been done for us. I often think of this story. I know in this room here today we have a lot of Springbok supporters. And I can remember with fondness the 2023 World Cup final. Anyone remember that day? Okay, just me. I'm not sure whether Craig was a rugby supporter, but I do know deep down in South Africans we got this heart for rugby. And I remember when the Springboks came back victorious, back-to-back World Cup champions, that our government gave us a public holiday. Anyone remember that? I got up to go to work, and then it was like, wow, we've been given a holiday. And I thought about that for a moment. Rassie and his team went to a foreign land, defeated an enemy we couldn't defeat, came home, and we were the benefactors of their victory. We got a public holiday. And then when I thought about what God did for us 2,025 years ago, He went and fought an enemy we couldn't fight, defeated them, not that we would get a public holiday, that we would get to live life and life to the full, that we would experience freedom. And I think in moments like these, we question, we go like, well, I don't know, I'm not a man of faith, but I want to encourage you today, in light of what's happened, and in light of we stand here and think of His life. Maybe today God's put a question in your heart. What does your faith look like? Where were you in response to what it looks like to know God? But not just know God, realize that He loves you and knows you. Second is family. I look at this family, and Shan said, we have a really close family. There's a lot of grief because there's a lot of love. And I see that in the family. I see it in her eyes, and I see it in the tears here in the room. A lot of grief because of a lot of love. But you know, one thing humanity longs for is family. We don't like to be lonely. We were born to be in community. All of us have a sense of wanting to belong. But there's a beautiful story, a picture or a scripture in the Bible that says that the whole of humanity is reaching towards a climax. Everything, we're running towards a climax. You know what that climax is? That God would have a family. And I want to say today that just as family would speak today and talk about Craig, that in essence we get a little picture of what it is to belong. And I know that God would invite you into his family. Faith, where does our faith lie? Family, God calls us to belong. And the last one is future. And you know, Jesus said these words. He said, I've come to give you life and life to the full. And you know, people that have a snapshot of the future live most confidently in the present. I don't know about you, when I think of the future, sometimes it can get a bit blurry. Where do we go when we die? What happens? And I know the story because some of you maybe went to Sunday school and you have a picture of maybe what the future looks like. But often the story goes that heaven is a cloud with a harp. Anyone get that? How unattractive. I don't know about you, but I find that very unattractive. Like a cloud and a harp and hoping my best. Where am I going to go? But you know what? The Bible tells a different story. The Bible tells that the culmination of history is actually we come down to live on this earth, a new heaven. Salt Rock Beach on steroids like you've never seen it before. Zimbali Lakes golf course like you've never seen it before. That is the invitation of God. And if you respond by faith and choose to trust in him, death is just, you just change address. Yes, we go to heaven, but we come down. Ultimately, you and I are going to be here together forever. I don't know about you. You might be skeptical about God, skeptical about what Jesus did, but I want to tell you, how can you refuse such a great invitation? I want to be back on steroids on Salt Rock Beach, giving it my best again forever and ever with my family and my loved ones. What an invitation. How could you ever refuse that? About 7 years ago, my grandmother passed away. She was 97 years old. And at 95, she got really sick, and she asked me to do a memorial. So I said, Gran, I'd love to do your memorial. She had a sad look on her face. And I said, Gran, why are you so sad? She said, because no one older than me will be at my memorial. So I said, you're right, Gran, you're 97. Anyway, the day came, and she passed away, and we did a memorial up in Howick. It was a small room, 120 people, and people got to speak about her life, and I got to close with prayer, and we finished the service. And I took a moment in the service and looked up. I said, Gran, when I look over the 120, there's no one over 97 here. And anyway, I went, and we have tea and eats, like you're going to have tea and eats just now. We're having tea and eats, and someone came to call me. My cousin said, there's someone wants to meet you. So I took my cup of tea and walked through the hall, through the myriad of people, and there, sitting in the corner, was this lady. As I'm approaching her, I'm thinking, I wonder how old she is. You know when you like gauge someone, you look at them, I'm thinking 85 tops. So I sit down, I introduce, she says, my name's Ruth. I say, my name's Mark. She says, I knew your gran, she was amazing. We should tell stories. We grew up in Kenya together, whatever. Just carrying on talking. I say, Ruth, that's amazing. I'm sitting down, blue eyes, alive, full of life, just like Craig. She's sitting there and she says to me, and you know, when you finish your cup of tea, you run short of conversation. And I thought, okay, I said to turn to Ruth. I said, Ruth, getting a little bit awkward. What's the two best things that have ever happened to you here in Howick? So Ruth smiled at me and said, thank you for asking me that question. And she said, the first thing is I turned 100 2 years ago, and I celebrated my birthday. Now, I don't know about you guys. I've never met someone 100 not out. I brought my kids. I was taking selfies with Ruth, going like, can you believe it? 100 not out. And she didn't look a day over 80. Anyway, there's commotion. I'm taking photos. I've invited all my family. It's a memorial, but we're celebrating. And anyway, Ruth interrupts me. She says, but Mark, you didn't ask me about the second thing. So I thought, how do you top the first one? So Ruth looks into my eyes and she says, you know, the second thing is I'm writing books for Howick Pre-Primary School and writing music for children that I believe my books and my music will change their lives forever. And I sat there and she looked at me with those blue eyes. And she said, Mark, it's not about the length of your life. It's about the breadth of your life. And I think of Craig, and I think of the influence he's had on every single one of you here, and I bet we could fill another hall because of the life he lived. He lived it to the full. But your life is not about how long you live it. It's the difference you make in people's lives. What a blessing he's been. Can I remind you today that it's no coincidence you're sitting here. God wants to ask you a question. Where's your faith? Have you trusted in him? It's not that you need to love God God loves you and He knows you. What about your family? Do you feel like you belong? You weren't born to be lonely. God invites you into His family. And guess what? You and I, if we choose to trust Him, have an incredible future in God's hands. Amen. Can I just pray? Father, I just thank you for today, God. I thank you for just a moment in which we can celebrate Craig's life, but also take a moment because you call us to grieve, but also grieve with hope. Our hope is not without trusting in you. The Bible tells us that you sent your Son to die for us. You took care of what we could never take care of. You took care of our past. You remind us of an incredible future, but you're so powerfully in the present with us now. Thank you for your love that you pour into our hearts. Thank you that you remind us that we were born for a purpose, that you did what we could never do so we could walk in freedom, what we were designed to live in. And so, Father, I just pray you hand over this family. I just thank you for Craig's life. I thank you for the man who lived it to the full. But I thank you that in the room today we're still living and we have an opportunity to respond to your good news. So bless every person here today. In your name we pray. And everyone together said, Amen. Bless you guys.
Okay. Yeah, if I shake, then I'll put it back. Is it on?
Is it on, Ma?
Is it on?
Is it on? We're not
I'm
already
not a
tech
good
savvy.
techno person.
Is it on?
Hello?
Okay. Do you want me to
Okay.
stand with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Sharon. First of all, just to say thank you for being here, and thank you for the incredible joy, fun, and friendship that you brought to Craig. You've come here to say thank you to him. Well, I would like to say a huge thank you to all of you who have made such a difference in his life. He used to come home and say, Mum, I've got such lovely friends. Mum, I've just met the most lovely person. And, you know, here you are. Not all of his wonderful friends, but a lot of you. And the support and love and joy you gave him in his life, I'm saying thank you to you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Of a different side of him. You know how when you get a feeling of pride and you think, wow, I'm so proud of my kid. And I'm going to tell you a little story about something that made me very proud of Craig. And no, it was not his academic achievement, not at all. But it was something that happened a long time ago, and it stayed with me forever. And in fact, that's why I'm talking about it. And Linda, you here, who was at Panton Junior Primary with my two beautiful children, and Linda taught them, and she was there. And Craig was in junior primary. I can't remember exactly which grade he was in, but he came to, and I went to go and pick him up, and he popped into the car, and he said, and I said, hi, Craigie, how was your day? And he went, oh, I'm not sitting with Rowan anymore. And I said, oh, really? He said, no, my teacher has moved me. And I said, well, maybe you and Rowan were giggling and laughing a lot. Maybe that was why. And he went, I'm not really. And I said, and Rowan? No, the teacher's put somebody else with him, but he's very friendly with the other person, so that's fine. So I said, oh, Craigie, tell me about Belinda. And he goes, Mum, you know, I don't really know her well, but she wets her pants a lot. And I said, really, Craig? And he said, yeah, she can't help it, Mum. She just can't get to the toilet in time, and she wheezes a lot. And I thought about that, and I said, oh, okay, Craigie, okay. And chatted about other things, and then next day, I picked him up from school, And I said, how was your day? And he went, Mum, you know this girl Belinda? And I said, yeah, well, I've heard about it now from you. And he said, she is the most incredible reader. Mum, guess what she's reading? And I said, I'm not sure. And he said, I've actually got the book Craig was reading at that time, believe it or not, but I'm a hoarder of memories. And he said, she is reading The Sea of Adventure, and I am reading The Castle of Adventure, and when we're finished, we're going to swap books. And I said, wow, Craig, you're so really lovely sitting next to Belinda. I said, who was she sitting with before? And he went, no, she wasn't sitting with anybody. Yeah. And I thought, you know what, this teacher knows my kid. And about 2 days later, a lady came up to my car also while I was waiting for Craig, and she tapped on my window, and she just said to me, are you Craig's mum? And I said, yes, I am. And she said, your son has a heart of gold. Yeah, that's my kid. Right, and I've even got the book that he was reading. Shane, you better hold the microphone, I'm shaking now. Even got the book. That is the book that he was reading when he was sitting next to Belinda. And I'm going to put the book next to his photograph over there, and that's my kid with a heart of gold. Right, thanks, Jenny. Okay, and on a different tack, Craig and I used to have a lot of conversations together. We used to chat about so many things. And I'm going to share a couple of them with you to give you a little bit of insight about things maybe he didn't talk a lot about. And we were sitting on the couch, and I bought a Persian carpet, quite a big one. And we were sitting, and I was looking at this carpet, and he said, gee, Mum, that's a really pretty carpet. And I said, yeah, it is. And he said, you know, we're just ants on a Persian carpet. He said, I'm just an ant on a Persian carpet. And I said, oh, okay, Craig. And he went, you know, we have no idea with the journey that we are on the most exquisitely woven pattern that is far beyond our understanding. And, you know, and we looked down at the carpet, and there was an ant. No, but that kind of thing happens. You know, it really does. And we're watching it, and he used that word. When we elevate it, we can look down, and we can see the huge, incredible pattern of our journey. And he said, but we don't see that until we elevate it. There's a word that resonates through every message, every conversation. Every person mentions this word when they talk about Craig. Two, actually. They both begin with L. One is laughter. Unbelievably. You could always tell when somebody was talking to Craig on the phone because they were laughing after the first 30 seconds of the conversation. They were laughing. And the other one is love. And that is so much part of everybody's connection with Craig. And said to him, Craig, not what is your religion, but I said to him, how do you feel, you know, what is religion do you think meaningful to different people in different ways? And he started a chat, and he went, Mum, he said, you know, people complicate religion. He said, they make it a complicated thing, and it's very simple. He said this is his point of view, not that he was, you know, pontifying about how he knew about what religion was. He said, I just think it's really simple. You can simplify religion. And he said, no matter what particular sect or group of people that you belong to, there is a common thread. And he said, that common thread is a spiritual message to us. And it is love one another. And he said, you know, you read in the Christian Bible, love one another. You read, love is God. You read, God is love. And he said, they're the same word, God is love, love is God. And he said, this truth sounds very simple, but it's not. Love one another is not just a contrived little phrase that people use. It's something that you actually, it's exceptionally deep, and it's exceptionally important. And he said, just in my opinion, I think we're here to learn how to love one another. And that, I think, is not only his truth, but possibly a truth for lots of us, to learn to love one another. And talking about loving one another, I've been so absolutely blessed to have two most beautiful children who, when you talk about true love, their love for each other was not just true love. Shan, it's eternal love. It is eternal love. You and Craig have, and I'm not saying had, because that word eternal goes far further than present time, present years, present eons. It's forever. And that universal love was so evident with my two children. Thank you, Shan. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Thank you all for being here, and have fun.
To my brother Craig, I think most people will remember you in this lifetime as the life and soul of every party, but I remember you as soulful, kind and gentle, a poet, a writer. To my brother Craig, I think most people will remember you in this lifetime as the life and soul of every party, but I remember you as soulful, kind and gentle, a poet, a writer and a dreamer. We were lucky to be born to parents who loved to travel. And when they got divorced, you became my mum, my dad, my brother, and my best friend, always protecting me and guiding me and making me feel so safe. You taught me to ride my tricycle, my bicycle, and how to tell the time on an analog watch, asking Mum to bring the clock from school home so that you could teach me how the hands worked. We would play Matchbox cars non-stop, and when I started Standard 1, you taught me how to spell the word beautiful. As you said it would be in every spelling test. You were right, it was, and I received full marks. Our childhood with Millie and Sue, watching Bedknobs and Broomsticks and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and choosing between Lydia and Diana on the program V. Christmas at Kids Beach, and an upbringing in nature, we were always outside together, and collecting driftwood we had to carry for Mum. Riding our BMXs up and down Haygarth and Abbey Road, choosing which house we would buy when we became millionaires, and watching Under the Mountain and Star Wars. You left for Hilton College, and I missed you terribly, and we would enter our teenage years together, but apart. And every Saturday for the next 5 years, I grew up on the grounds of Hilton with you. Christmases at Kids Beach, we would venture out to Buccaneers and Numbers. You got your first car and rolled it, giving us such a fright in the middle of the night. and starting Maritzburg varsity, we would put a lot of Crystal Summer in our hair. You met Marky, and he became another brother to me for 30 years, all of us growing alongside each other. I was thrilled when you two moved back from London, and you started at Thompson's, and so proud as you grew so quickly, opening new frontiers. You came to visit me in Mauritius when I had Jamie and became the world's best uncle to my children, giving them incredible holidays and loving them as your own. You spoiled the family always with exotic destinations and luxury and never made it about you and your achievements. You were always so humble, allowing us to take in all and receive the moments. The girls would grow up in the bush with you, and you would collect gifts for them from around the world, phoning Jamie from France, asking her which colour Stanley she wanted. You would do Jamie's Monday night ballet run and make playlists for her while you were travelling, and you never missed a production of Ruby's, travelling anywhere to support her dance. Remember when we took Jamie to Duka, and the Nigerian owner asked us to remove her from the bar, and then you said, "You know that we are bad parents, babes," when a Nigerian tells us to do a better job. You couldn't wait for them to turn 18, to take them out with you. You grew your business so successfully and had the ability to write anybody off who wasn't aligned with you. You had a vision and created mastery. You phone me nearly every day with, "Nu, I have found this gorgeous little coffee shop." Or, "Nu, I have found this gorgeous little camp I'm taking you to." Or, "Nu, I have found this gorgeous dress for you." As well as, "My gorgeous sis, I'm so proud of you. You're such a clever little thing." Our daily laughs, you were so funny. Like, "Babes, it's not going good. I need more wine." Or, your favorite, from Meet the Millers, "No regrets." I'm so happy we did the Kariba trip with the Cuzzies. It will stay with me forever. You really were an earth angel, put here to heal the planet and bring a playful energy to it. My soul will always live with you at Natel's Bar, and having a glass of rosé in the bush, we still do that. I will find you, from this lifetime to the next, for heaven and earth cannot keep us apart. I love you, Shan.
Hello? Oh, it does work. Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be really difficult. So I've actually got backup. So I'll just pass it across to whoever's next. All right. I've written oh, hold on. I've written a few words, and I went through it about 20 times because there's just so much you can say about Craig. But he was my best friend. He really was. And it's probably the same as most of you guys out there. But the one thing about Craig was whenever he came over to the UK, he used to pop into our house and he used to see us. And one of his favorite things was to say to me, "Okay, let's go up to the 3 tons.
Now, that's a pub just up the road. And so we used to go up there, just for one, of course, never more than that. And we used to have at least 3 or 4, and then sometimes we used to stay till the pub closed. But in those times, we used to sit at the pub, sit on the bar or sit on a table, and we used to have fun. We used to laugh. We had a great time. And we used to reminisce. We used to talk about the old times, but new times and what was happening. And it was just fantastic. And the age gap just didn't matter to Craig. We just always had fun. And it was so good. And I'm going to read the next part because, I won't be able to just say it without reading it. I'll also treasure the memories and look back at my life that was filled with one of the most awesome people in the world. I was so lucky. Thank you, my friend.
Craigie, you were like a son to Milena and a brother to Kim and Lan. You were always full of the joys of spring, bringing happiness wherever you were. And we will cherish the memories we all made together. We love you, and you will always be with us forever in our hearts.
Craig, C for charismatic, R for remarkable, A for adventurous, I for inspirational, G for generous, generous in life, generous in love.
Craigie, we will miss you beyond words. So a quote by Charlie Mackesy. What do we do when our hearts hurt? Asked the boy. We wrap them with friendship, shared tears and time till they wake hopeful and happy again.
Just slide in. You can see I don't talk often. I don't know how these things work. Whew. I was praying that Millie and the family's speech was going to go on for a bit longer than that because I had to gather my senses a little bit. Do you want to come back? I'm getting there. Did you guys see that picture of Dave when he was younger? I'd actually like to just look at that while I'm doing the speech if possible. Okay, I'm ready. Well, this wasn't meant to happen. Damn it, but shit. For those of you who may not, I am going to read this because it's going to be tough. For those of you who may not have met me, my name is Gary Smith. I am, however, not related to Craig. I'm from the Mshlonga branch of the Smiths. He came from the Pinetown CBD, just down the road from Noel's Super Spa, if anyone knows. Funnily enough, he has the same name as my actual brother. So for as long as I've known Craig, can I swear as well? For as long as I've known Craig, he's been known as But to me. Trying to tell the kids who is coming for a braai has had its challenges. Craigie's coming today for a braai. Oh, which Craigie? Uncle Craigie. Oh, cool. Which Uncle Craigie? Craig Smith. Your brother Craigie or the other Craigie? Just doesn't matter. Just go and get ready. Craig's coming. So, for us and our kids, Craig, this Craig, not that Craig, has also been known as Other Craigie. Before I start with my speech, I need to warn everyone that the extent of my public speaking is usually limited to very light-hearted, mostly inconsequential, and very often beer-infused thank yous or farewells at work when all of the senior management is away or unavailable. I therefore find myself grossly underqualified for this special occasion. My wife's words this week, and in fact Jody said it to me earlier, you only get this chance once, don't stuff it up. Hang on. Sorry. Where was I? The fact that I spent most of the writing of the speech in tears, and in fact I was in tears in the print shop this morning when I printed the speech out, doesn't bode well for me or for all of you. And if my rambling kicks in, which it often does, then we could be in for a very messy 40 to 45 minutes. No, it's not that long. I've written and rewritten the speech many times in the past few days as I try and find the right words to honor such an exceptional person. Words and thoughts and memories of 32 years of friendship have been flying around in my head. And although there's no right or wrong way to pay tribute to Craigie, I hope I can make him proud. He would always just say to me, you'll be fine, Gazzy. I never was, but he always said that. Excuse me. It's quite early to be drinking Sauvignon Blanc, but I guess you got to do what you got to do. First and foremost, and before I start rambling, I wanted to say a big thank you to Craig's family, for giving me the absolute honor of speaking at the celebration of his life. I said to Shan that being asked to speak was extremely daunting and a massive privilege at the same time. It is an incredible opportunity to be able to stand in front of all of you and get to speak about someone so remarkable, so respected, and so massively loved. One of Craigie's ridiculously special gifts was that of making people feel like they were his best friend. I think this is a good opportunity to quickly clear something. I haven't had snot running into my mouth for years and years. No, that's not what I was clearing up, sorry. He was pretty fond of all of you guys, I'll be honest. But I was actually his best friend. I was. He liked you, Millie, for that village in England, but he liked me for everywhere. It's pretty crazy how life works. Your parents take you to the Kruger Park a few times when you're young. You develop a love for wildlife in the bush. You decide to study zoology at university, and because of this, are limited to a handful of universities around the country that actually offer zoology. You randomly land up in Malherbe residence at Maritzburg Varsity in February 1993. You walk into the Res pub, of all places, on day one of orientation week, not knowing a single person in Maritzburg. And the very first group of guys you end up chatting to includes a random stranger from Pinetown, I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, who profoundly impacts the rest of your and your family's life. I'm not sure what the years are called between finishing high school and pretty much now, but they are undoubtedly some of the most important years of your life. Don't drink it. Adulthood isn't really the right word, but we can use it for the purposes of this. During this time, you hopefully are lucky enough to go to university. You hopefully study and hopefully pass. You travel and explore. You get your first job and paycheck. You get your first home. You maybe get married. You maybe have kids. That's some pretty big stuff that happens between the ages of 18 and 50. I got to spend a huge portion of those years with Craig in Maritzburg, London, and Durban. Our lives would constantly drift and then come back together again. And our friendship just got stronger and stronger. In that time, Craig met Marky, and I met Joe. And the four of us got to live through some pretty incredible times. Going back through photos of the past 2 weeks, it is crazy to see just how huge we have all been in each other's lives. Marky, I can't begin to imagine what these past 2 weeks have been like for you. I know you always say this isn't about you, but 30 years of partnership, love, sacrifice, and flippin' hard work is enormous. You guys formed a formidable team, and if you look back on what you guys together built and created, as you crisscrossed your way around Morningside, it is absolutely mind-blowing. Who would have thought a pot salesman that's decorative pots, not Colombian pot, and a travel agent could achieve so much. You have always been the rock on which Craig could build his exceptional legacy. Thank you for always being here for Joe, me, and the kids as well. We have so many collective experiences and memories that we will cherish forever. To Shan, Helen, Dave, Jamie, Rubes, and Craig's immediate family, there's a lot of you guys here to mention. Thank you for growing this exceptional man and sharing him with the world. If you look around you now, or you just scroll through the thousands of tributes and comments on social media, you will realize just how far and wide Craig's influence stretched. He was kind, humble, hilariously funny, smart, compassionate, just the best sort of person anyone could be. He was a connector, a genuine friend, and he changed the course of so many people's lives. But above all of that, he was your son, brother, uncle, nephew, and cousin. I wish I knew what the recipe was to raise a person of this caliber, because I seem to be fumbling my way through raising 3 kids of my own. You can be so proud of this man, of the man he always was. I can't begin to tell you all how much he absolutely loved you guys. And while there were the behind-the-scenes comparisons and competitions of whose family was more crazy or going through more drama at any particular time, he just wanted to spend as much time as he could with you guys. I'm nearly there. Sorry. Andy Kemp told me this is called a mute break, so I'm having a mute break. When you walked into that room, I will miss the way we could make each other laugh. I will miss the pride I would feel when I introduced you to people. Knowing that every time without fail, without fail. They would come back to me later and say what an incredible guy you were. I will miss seeing our kids running out to greet you whenever they heard your hooter at the gate. I will miss sitting around my bar or your Pennington pool. I will miss the way we joke about how badly other people had aged in comparison to the two of us. We did that a lot. Although I feel like I've aged pretty badly in the past 2 weeks, damn it. I will miss hearing you say, meh, I need a wine, and those very unbutch shrieks you'd often make. I will miss the pure joy on both our faces when an Avicii or Swedish House Mafia or David Guetta or any dance song really would come on. I will miss hearing you say, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I will miss sitting next to you in a golf cart for 4 to 6 hours, depending on how well or how badly we were playing. I will miss the way we could tease each other, even about our skew nostrils and our big ears. Okay, just my big ears. I will miss the way you engaged with, spoke to, and most importantly, listened to people. I will miss the sharp and absolutely hilarious back and forth WhatsApps that we'd have with each other, or on some other WhatsApp group. I will miss hearing you say, but your wife makes me laugh. She is completely bloody nuts. Mark also used to say that. She obviously isn't nuts at all, but I still miss hearing him say that. I miss being able to travel with you. I will miss your crystal clear wisdom, where the right words would always just flow out of your mouth. I will miss watching the way you would confidently and effortlessly address a crowd of people. Man, there's a lot that I will miss. This past 2.5 weeks has been an incredible roller coaster of emotions for all of us. Shock, confusion, disbelief, numbness, denial, and anger. For me, it has highlighted the fragility of life, and I feel like I want and need to be angry at someone or something for robbing us of a brother, a friend, a leader, and an absolutely incredible giant of a man. There is no explaining why Craigie left us so soon. No one to blame. No rationalizing why it had to happen to him. It is life in its purest and harshest form. If anything, it should reiterate the need to value what we have while we still can. Appreciate the people who are around you that bring you joy, that teach you. This is important stuff. I can't ramble through this. I need to pull myself together. And I did write. This is actually my writing. Oh, goodness. Appreciate the people who are around you that bring you joy, that teach you how to live large, and that make you laugh hard. Their or your path could change tomorrow. Craig, Craigie, other Craigie, Smithers, Smithy, but I love you. and will miss the bond that we always had. We may not have seen each other all the time, but whenever we did, everything just felt comfortable. It felt good. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for trusting me in your incredible company. And thank you for giving my family everything that we now have. In your truly humble way, you would always just brush aside my attempts to thank you for the life you had given us. I'm sure you could feel how much we appreciated you. And I'm sure it gave you so much satisfaction knowing that you had altered not only mine and my family's lives, but also so many people here in this room and all around the world. Lastly, and most importantly, thank you for teaching me how to see all people, especially the ones that often go unnoticed. Thanks to you, I often found myself going out of my way to greet complete strangers, especially those that always get overlooked. The security guard at Woolies, the man selling cell phone chargers at the traffic lights, the homeless man walking down the street. Craig has left a mark on this world that will live inside all of us for as long as we are around. We were the lucky ones who got to spend 1, 2, 5, 10, 32, 51 years getting to know him. A person like this doesn't come into the world very often. And the chances of it being part of your life are minute. He connected all of us here and so many others around the world. I think that's one of the hardest things, and I'm going off script now, but one of the hardest things for me today was coming into a room like this, seeing people from all the stages of my life who Craig basically introduced me to, people that have become so special to me in different circles. There were just so many different circles that Craig connected, and there's not many people that can do that. It's been hard seeing so many people today. It's been amazing seeing so many people today. And yeah, just to finish off, I think let's remember who he was, what he stood for, and celebrate how he lived life to the full. Laughing loud and laughing often. He would so want all of us to do that. Cheers, Craigie.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mo. Thank you to stand here in front of you to celebrate probably one of the most incredible people we've ever encountered in our lives. It's an absolute honor for me to be here. I don't have the jokes that Gary has got, but I must say that I so feel everything that he has said and agree with it in its entirety. I think we've all shared an incredible journey with Craig. So I consider Craig my soul brother. We were born 4 months apart. He was born in March of 1974. I was born in July. And we often spoke, and he'd always say to me, you know, Mo, 74 was a good year, you know. It was an absolute honor sharing a journey with Craig. But in the year I turned 30 years old, probably one of the most profound things happened to me in my life. I opened my mails one morning and there was an email that read, "Dear Mohammed, we've never met, but I know of you." And this was 2004. And the email went on to say that I'm starting a business and I'd like to work with you. So please extend your best rates to me, and we will build the business together, inshallah. Yours sincerely, Craig Smith. And that's where my journey with Craig started. What started from there was not really a business relationship. It was probably one of the best friendships I've had in my life. It was a friendship rooted in love, kindness, respect. And I'd worked with a lot of people in my journey, but I came to learn so much from Craig. He taught me that, you know, in everything that you do, you could really express who you are. And I learned through him that the values that are important to you could really be reflected in everything you do, including business and everything you did. And that's what he did. He made us all seen, no matter who we were. He touched us all, no matter what we did. And, you know, that journey continued for many, many years. And through that journey, I was able to build a business, and we employed over 200 staff. And the most incredible thing to see was that Craig made an effort to know everyone's names. You know, Craig knew everyone by name. He took the time to engage with everyone. And it was the most heartwarming thing for me to see how proud my people across the country were, knowing that Craig knew them and that they had a relationship with him. So I stand here today not only for myself to reflect on the journey I've walked with him, the relationship I've had with him, but I stand here for each and every one of my team that worked with me to reflect in gratitude the relationship that we've shared with him, but in a much bigger way for our entire industry. I don't think we've encountered another human being that has touched the amount of lives that Craig has so generously and lovingly touched. He's made us all feel incredibly special and important and seen. I've never ever in my entire life experienced it. And the more successful Craig became, the bigger his heart became. The more he gave, the more he shared. It was the most incredible thing to watch. But I guess it's also why at any time we would all do anything Craig wanted, because he just gave us so much love. You know, but our business relationship came to an end when he finished at New Frontiers a couple of years ago. But our friendship never stopped. Our bond just became stronger and stronger. We chatted all the time. We shared so many things. And I've been through quite an interesting journey myself. And last year, the last time I saw Craig was actually on my 50th birthday. We had lunch, him and my boys. We had a special day together, and we would speak often. And this year, on his birthday, when I spoke to him, I said to him, you know, he said to me, I'm starting to feel a little bit old. I said to him, we've just turned 21. So this year, we've celebrated 21 years of friendship. I don't think that I've encountered anyone in my life that has been bigger, that has loved more, that has given more, that has shared more with anyone. And even through everything that's happened, you know, in speaking to people, I just learn more about how much as Craig is given to everyone around him all the time. My last conversation with Craig was on the 29th of August. It was 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. I'd messaged him. I said I would like to chat. He called me that Friday afternoon. We had a 45-minute conversation. We spoke about different things. And Craig being Craig, he wanted to know how things was going with me. He wanted a full update. We spoke about a lot of stuff. And close to the end of that conversation, he said to me, you know, Mo, Mark has forgiven me. And in his voice, I could hear his peace. And that was the last time I heard his voice. And I believe that Craig was an incredible gift to us all, one that we'll carry with us for the rest of our lives. Craig David Garrett Smith, we will meet again. I love you forever. Mo. I've got a short clip we're going to play, just a short one. Maxed out on warehouse capacity. I'm hoping somebody just dropped it off for me.
We have.
Is this yours? No, you're joking. No, no, Craig, no. No, you are, no. Yes. No ways, Mark. No, come on, no. No, you make it up. Stop the shit.
It's your business. Do you like it? It's nice, eh? Yeah.
You're good. I'd rather hold this. I have absolutely no idea how many drugs I've taken this morning to try and calm my nerves, but they're not working. This is extremely difficult for me, and especially staring at all the old faces that I haven't seen for such a long time. I'm going to try and work through just a few notes that I've jotted down, nothing like Gary presented, but I'm going to do my best. Firstly, a welcome from me. It's unbelievable to see all of you here today. And whilst a very sad occasion, I think we've just got to see the best in it. And I'm doing that, so I need your support as well. Firstly, a thank you to Shan. I don't know where she is. Just put your hand up, Shan. Shan has been incredibly supportive and has basically put all this together in such a short time. And for me, who's been a complete wreck for the last 2 weeks, and basically I watched people move chairs around here yesterday. I couldn't even move a chair, and I think that's very unlike me, who normally steps in and does what he needs to do, but I don't know what it is. But Shani, you've been the best, and honestly, I absolutely appreciate it. And this is not ignoring anybody else who obviously has behind the scenes put all this together. And as I say, we can never prepare for an event like this. It just happens, and everybody came together, and here we are. The messages I've received, I was away when this unfortunate incident happened, and I made my way back. But coming back, honestly, I couldn't believe the support I got with messages, and they just continued and continued. Eventually, I just sent red hearts because I had absolutely no idea what to send back. Each time I sent a message, they responded, and it just went on and on and on. But thank you for all the incredible messages. Much, much appreciated. I met Craigie in 1996. Sorry, actually June of 1995. A lot of you will start counting and wonder how long that actually is. It's a very long time ago. And I've got a little story that I often think about, and it reminds me, I just laugh every time I think about it, because in those days, my relationship with Craig was hugely undercover. And Craig used to come down from varsity. We used to hide the car, and we just good times. But we often used to go to the movies, and when we would, we each paid our own way, and we would get to the movie house. Now you also have to understand that this was a very secret relationship, and we would petrify that anybody would actually see us going to the movies. So we'd sit in the car, and I'd say, right, Craig, where's your money? And he never ever had a note. Craig always had hundreds and hundreds of brown pieces of money, and he would sit there and start counting out what he wanted. So he just would slowly count out this money, and me being as dumb as I am, I was like, nope, you're going to pay for yourself. And then what do you do? I was like, right, you've got the right amount. Off you go. You go inside, and I'll find you in there in case someone sees us. And Craig would go inside. I'd follow on soon after, pay the thing, and then go into the movie house, pitch black, and all I'd hear is like this, and I'd look around, and eventually I'd find old Craigie. Yeah. Those 30 years that we spent together were filled with adventure that I guess so few people, or a lot of people, can only dream about. Craig and I traveled as much as we could. It was always at the breakfast table, where should we go next? Where to next? And I just left it to him, being the travel man. I was like, wherever you want to go, let's go. And honestly, if any of you needed to document what we did in those 30 years, there wouldn't be a book big enough. I had the most incredible time with my Craig. On the 13th of September, my journey with Craigie ended. It was an absolutely abrupt end, and one that I still can't process. All these years, Craigie was fiercely protective of me, as I was of him. Dave, Helen, I can't see you either because I've got my readers on. There. Shan, and of course my gorgeous mum. I'm now that protector, I'm here for you. This would be Craig's final wish, that I take care of you, and I'm here for that. On a little somber note, Craigie's remains are at our home in Morningside. This home represented everything for Craig. It was a safe place, and he would often visit to see his beloved 9 dogs and take him bloody chicken feet, which every time I even looked at them, I was like, why do you keep bringing those things to the house? And anyway, the dogs loved them. He kept going and he kept bringing them. I would encourage friends to visit and pay their last respects, or just say a few kind words. Share some time with Craigie. Absolutely no invite necessary. That for me would be exceptionally special. Thank you. Now, I'm going to hand you over to Tombi. I'm sure needs absolutely no introduction. Tombi has been by our side for 25 years. She's been the mum of the house. Her incredible care for both Craigie and I, and our dogs, we never had a doubt that every time we jumped on a plane, this lady would take care of everything, and she always did. She holds one very grand title, that she has seen more naked white boys than any housekeeper. And she survived. Toms, I have absolutely no idea what I would do without you, and especially the last 2 weeks. It was our Craigie. He'll always be our Craigie. And I thank you for that. Okay. So I'm going to hand you over to Toms, who would like to say a few words. Hopefully not in Zulu, but here we go. Thank you.
I don't have a jokes because I'm not like Master. Master can say some jokes. But to say my heart is broken. Sorry, great friends and the family. I can say a lot about my Craig, but for now it's hard for me because I don't like to cry. I'm trying to be strong because Craig, he was like my father, my brother. Lots of people knows me, and I'm Tombi, and Craig used to call me Hello Nunu. I'll miss all that. I meet with them for many years. I don't want even to mention was how many years, but so many years. They gave me a love and the care, even Master. They same to me. I'm proud of these two. I won't say Craig is gone because he's listening what I'm saying now. I'm saying I'm proud of these two boys. The cars, the house, always they're buying me special things and expensive things. As you look at me, you know, you can see this dress has cost a lot. I won't tell you how much, but it cost a lot. And I'm not buying a clothes from Pep. I'm not buying a food from Checkers. My shop is Woolies. Can I tell you something? I've got another mention here. You know this area is not for poor people, which means I'm not poor because I'm working for two boys, they're rich. Thank you so much, guys, for coming to share this sad day. But before I sit down, I'm going to ask you, whatever you pray, just put our names, me and Master and my puppies, because we're going to miss a lot, Craig. A lot and a lot. Thank you so much.
Now, how can anybody follow Tombi? I mean, you know, is that, oh, God bless you, my boy. You know, Tombi, well done. Where's Woolies? I don't even know where they are. My job is to lighten things up a bit because you don't want people weeping here and you all go off and have a beer. And everybody's going. So my job is to lighten things up, which is not easy. But, oh, yeah. Okay, at least my glasses here. Oh, that's the wrong page. Gary, where are you? Thank you for that Wilbur Smith story. Okay. I left my speech and I see you read it. So you, well done, boy. You didn't do much work here, did you? Where am I? Are these my glasses? Clearly, my eyes are. Okay, I got to tell you this. This is Craig's scene, isn't it? Craig would love to be here. Hey, there's booze. What more glasses? I love you, boy. Where do you go? Did your gate crash or are you invited? Craigie would love this, You know, this is his scene. Free booze, food, a lot of great mates around, me giving speeches. If I go like this, because I'm, is it Craigie? You know, you're just to acknowledge the fact that he's agreeing. So, I'm sure these are my glasses, boy. Yeah. Ah, yes. Okay, yes. Now, what do you say about Craig that hasn't been said 100 times already? I mean, it's really difficult to follow on for what's been said here. So I won't, because we all know what joy he brought. And in my life with Craig, it was always laughter. It was always laughter. We never got into heavy stuff. He would like phone me and say, how are things going, Dad? I'd say, what do you mean, spiritually, emotionally, socially, financially? He said, let's go financially. I said, Craigie, we've had a good year. We almost broke even. That's like a friend of mine. I said to him, how are things going? He said, well, Dave, I've got to tell you this. We started off really badly, and it just got worse. But Craigie and I just laughed. You know, there was nothing like serious about our relationship because we had a great sense of humor. I once said to him, he said, what's happened? I said, Craigie, do you ever watch that thing, Mrs. Brown? He said, yeah, I do. I said, you did this thing last night. She said, Mrs. Brown said, I set up to watch this program called Grand Prix. And she said, I set up till 10 o'clock and it's all about bloody racing cars. and Craig loved that, you know. Jeez, where am I? Yeah. I've got to tell you about Craig now. He gets his adventurous spirit from his mother. No doubt about it. Helen, you'd make them... You know what Helen used to do? She'd get into Getaway magazine, and then she'd look for a farmer that's got a little farm tucked away. And then she'd take the two kids out. And then she'd say to them, okay, in the morning, here's your backpack. There's an apple and a liquid fruit. We're going to climb that mountain. And on Craig's 21st, he said, the best thing about 21 is I don't have to climb mountains anymore. And he gets his adventurous spirit from his mother. He gets his entrepreneurial spirit from me. The only difference is all his ventures worked. Mine never did. So, but we used to laugh. Craig and I used to laugh so much. And that's why, you know, when you follow on from here, when I think about Craig, I don't get in the depths of depression because we just had such a good time. Because I remember was with somebody once and she said, you know, every time you pick up the phone and you giggle, I know it's Craig. You know, we either had a depraved sense of humor or intelligent sense of humor, but it used to make me laugh. And I miss that a lot because none of my friends are more like intelligent enough to understand what I'm saying. Somebody said to me the other day, do you know what, Davey? God takes the best ones first. Takes the best ones first. Now my friend Derek is 96, so that doesn't augur well for him. Eh? You know, that's true. That's true. But where am I going here? Yeah. Claire's daughter wrote, she sent me a lovely story. She said, you know what Craig was like? She said, if you can imagine in the galaxy, there's a star, a bright star, and it explodes. And it sends out shards of love across the universe. And that's what Craig was like. He was. Now, clearly, you must use that in my Anyway, guys, listen. I've got to tell you this. I don't know how Craig chose me to be his father. But I'm really glad he did. And I miss you, Craigie. You will live in my heart forever, as you always have. As you always have.
Shall we just stand as we close? I'll just close in prayer. What incredible tributes to an amazing man. And I was wondering, just as we close, if you could just grab the hand of the person next to you. Just bow our heads. Father, we just thank you. We thank you for just a moment to celebrate an incredible man. Just a man that was full of life and man of love and man who'd go the extra mile. Thank you, Father, for his family. Thank you for friends today. And God, I just thank you, as Tommy said, we just pray your hand, a blessing and protection over the family. We pray, Lord, in these next couple of weeks, just as we grieve, that we grieve with hope. And I thank you for the mark that he's left on many people's lives. Would you bless every person here? In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. I know the family have snacks and tea and drinks outside, and please enjoy.